Hey, Mom and Dad.
Hi.
This
Hello.
is for my personal finance class. I'm just going to ask you some questions about personal finance. But first, some general questions. Where did you go to school and what was it like?
I went to college at the University of North Georgia in Dahlonega, Georgia. It was a military school, so I was in ROTC for my 4 years.
Yeah, I went to Clemson University.
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers. And it was wonderful, and I loved being in South Carolina and had a lot of fun and learned a lot too.
What was your first job and how much did you make?
My very first job that I truly remember getting in money was cutting grass, and I got $5 a yard.
What about after college?
My first job after college was working for a company called Post Properties. They were a construction and apartment and development company.
What about you, Mom?
My first job was after my freshman year of college, and I worked at a department store called Gaffer's, and I was a gift wrapper during the summer, and I probably made minimum wage, which I'm not sure how much that was at that point.
Okay. What did you buy with your money?
When I had my job cutting grass when I was probably 10 or 12, I actually bought a bicycle. I saved up and I bought a Schwinn Varsity yellow bicycle.
What about you, Mom?
I would save up for new clothes and just going out with my friends, like to see movies and stuff.
How much money did you need if you were going out with friends or having fun?
Probably $5 to $10.
Yeah, things were much cheaper. So, like a movie was maybe $4 or $5.
Okay. How did you learn about money?
Through my parents, through Boy Scouts, through personal management merit badge, but primarily through my parents, and then later on in school.
What about you, Mom?
Mine would also be my parents and grandparents, and of course I was a accounting major in college, so I learned a lot about money.
Okay. Where did you shop for food and clothes?
When growing up, we went to a grocery store called A&P, and clothes, I remember going to Sears, or at the time known as Sears and Roebuck.
Okay.
And we had a Winn-Dixie that wasn't too far from our house, and I would shop at what was called Moss Brothers at the time, and now it's Macy's.
What did you do if you wanted something you couldn't afford?
Well, either you just did without, or you tried to save up.
And I had a savings account, so I would put any like allowance or any money I made in that savings account.
Did you have credit cards?
I didn't have a credit card until after I had graduated from college, or maybe right at my senior year.
Yeah, I didn't have a credit card until I started working after college.
How are your views about money different today than when you were young?
I think you greatly even appreciate it more when I was working. When you were young, you're just spending on things that you maybe just want or not necessarily need. But as you get older, you're trying to save for not only yourself but your family, and trying to just manage the day-to-day responsibilities that you have, from a house to automobiles to schools.
It gave me an appreciation for what my parents provided for me, which I really didn't have any concept
Yeah.
of when I was growing up. But when I started working and having to take care of those expenses, I thought about how much they did for me.
Yes, I would definitely echo that.
Okay, how are views about relationships different today than when you were young?
Relationships? I don't know if relationships.
Related to money?
Just says how are views about relationships different today than when you were young? So marital, not necessarily your relationships, but society's view.
I think today maybe a lot more than prior. A lot of people, when they get married, they keep everything separate. Like they might even keep separate checking accounts, or they don't commingle their money even though they're married. So I think that's changed a lot since when my parents were around, and also for us.
Okay. So I'll just do every other question for these ones.
Okay.
Dad, how did you meet Mom?
We met each other through really through mutual friends, and then we were in a class or a Bible study called Bible Study Fellowship. So that's where we started developing our friendship.
Okay, Mom, how long did you know each other before you got married?
It was probably about 18, 19 months.
Okay. Did you discuss money before you got married?
Yes.
Did you have any money fights?
Any money fights?
I wouldn't say fights. I mean, we had discussions about, how we were going to spend money. But
Yeah, we definitely
not
had a lot
really
of
fights.
discussions how we would spend. I don't think we ever had any.
Like, he never said, or, was angry about what I spent, and vice versa.
Describe the first car y'all bought. How much did it cost and how did you pay for it?
My first car that I bought.
I think as a married couple.
Well, we already had our own vehicle, so maybe the Volvo
I guess the Volvo was
station.
probably the first one that we purchased, and
That was almost.
after we were married, and we got that because you came along, and we needed more space.
How'd you pay for it?
I think I had a bank loan for that.
Yeah.
We had a bank loan.
Did you pay the loan off?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Describe your first house. How much did it cost and how did you pay for it?
Well, we're still in our first house. We paid, I think it was at the time, $250,000, and we got a loan.
A mortgage. Mm-hmm.
Mortgage.
How much did it cost? Oh yeah, 20. Okay, just kidding.
$250.
What were the first few years of marriage like?
Fun adjustments. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, definitely.
Just getting to know each other better, and we took some trips. But then about a year in,
When
you came along.
prior to children, it's kind of like dating.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Did you worry about money, and if so, what did you do about it?
When we first got married.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't think
Not-
so. We were
not-
both in really good, stable jobs, and so we really didn't.
I wouldn't say worried. I mean, you're always aware of. We didn't go out and just buy crazy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So we lived. I would say we lived within our means.
Awesome.
Definitely.
So following that, what were your views on debt when you first got married?
Our views, well, if it's managed correctly, but I never liked to see when our credit card, we started having a balance on our credit card. I never liked that. I guess that is rather bothersome as well as it's not a good way to, because you're having to pay such high interest rates. So I prefer not to be in that situation.
Do you have
Yeah, I
anything to
think-
say?
The debt, there's certain debt that it can be actually more beneficial for you to get a loan because that money might be making more if it was invested somewhere than you're paying interest for your loan. So that, like a mortgage.
Mm-hmm.
Usually mortgage interest rates are fairly low, and so that money, instead of paying off the house, you can invest that money, which will make more than your mortgage payment. So
Right.
when debt is done wisely, it can be beneficial.
Okay, since you're not my grandparents and I don't have grandparents, this question says, how did your children learn about money? So how do you plan on teaching me and my brother about money?
Well, one is you taking this class. I think it's a really good class. In fact, we took it when we were newly. Well, I guess it was
That's
a
right,
few years
we
into
did.
our marriage. We took the Dave Ramsey
We
class.
took a Dave Ramsey class.
So this class is a really good
Yeah, I
preparation
forgot
for
about
that.
that. So as a couple, when early on in our marriage, we took the Dave Ramsey class to
Mm-hmm.
help us open up about how to work together and saving and spending our money.
Cool. Thanks, y'all.
You're
welcome.
Bye.